Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Ifeoluwa Owoeye. Today we'll be exploring the advantages and disadvantages of gated communities in Nigeria. So stay tuned to the end because the best part is at the end. If you are watching us for the first time, kindly subscribe to our channels on all our social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram. So today, what is gated communities? What do we mean by that? A gated community is a collection of homes that is accessible only to the residents and their guests. Some people used to meet a gated estate with an estate together. All right, I want to tell you the differences between gated community and estate in Nigeria, because a lot of agents and a buyer make a mistake comparing the two, thinking the two are the same. It's not the same. Like the definition I gave earlier, that a gated community is a collection of homes only accessible to the residents and their guests. So a lot of agents and a home buyer, they make a mistake of comparing gated community and an estate together. So what do I mean by an estate? I've already explained the meaning of a gated community. So why an estate? The way we see an estate can own by one person. One person can buy an estate and build so many houses in it and use it for rent for residents. So that's an estate. Why gated community is a collection of different homes by different owners. So while the estate is just one person that owns the estate, so he just build different homes inside it. So you have to carry that person's name. So that's what you mean by gated. The difference between gated community and an estate. So let's move to the advantages of gated communities in Nigeria. So number one, it enhances security. What do we mean by that? You know, a lot of people are looking for comfort where their family is well secured. Security has to be the number one in order to look. That's the most advantage things to look out for when you're looking for a gated community. How is the place? How secure is the place? Do they have security? Do they have CCTV? Even if there's no security like that, do they have CCTV that cover the whole estate or the gated community? So number two, we move to a control access. What do you mean by a control access? It has limitation of how people comes in and how people go out. You can't go to an gated estate without informing the person you want to go and meet. They will not give you access. If you have been to a well-gated community, you will know what I'm saying. You can't go to an estate without informing the person. They will not allow you to enter. So that's what we mean by control access. So number three is well-maintained amenities. What do you mean by well-maintained amenities? You know, when you enter gated community, you can't compare it to a street. There will always be a difference between gated and a street. What do I mean by that? The road are tied. The social amenity we are talking about, there will always be lights there. It's very constant. So that was people will look out for when you want to go into a gated community, whether you want to buy a home there or you want to rent. They always look out for those things. Social amenities, there is always lights. There will always be a playground for children. You know, we've already talked about security. You know, everything is secured. So your children can come out in the evening and go and play in the where it's assigned for as a children playground. That's what they mean by social amenity. The water there is good. So that, and the road too is good. So that's what we mean by maintain amenities, a well-maintained amenity. So that's what we mean by that. So number three, we have a community spirit. What do you mean by community spirit? When you are in a gated community, you know there will be uniformity among the neighbors. If you want to do something, everybody will come together to do it. But when you are in a street, you won't be able to control everybody. So that's only the difference between street and a gated. But when you are in your own space, if something spoils in a gated community, people easily come together to work things out. They will not be, it will not benefit me, it will not benefit me. There are some people like that, because they are not gaining from it. It doesn't affect them. They will not want to come. But once you are in a gated gated community, there's a community spirit. Always want to work together. That's what I mean by community spirit. So number 5 is improve infrastructure and services. What do I mean by that? Infrastructure. Okay, maybe in a gated communities, there are structures that they want to maintain in a community. Okay, this is how the structure we want to be. If you are been to, okay, let me use City View as an example. There's a particular structure that everybody must have in that gated community. The same color of paint. Outside though, but inside you can do whatever you want inside. But outside, the infrastructure is the same. This is how it is. You know, there are some gated communities that only allow bungalows. They don't want any duplex, any terrace duplex, anything like that. But that's the infrastructure and the service they want in that community. If you are looking for a gated community, always look out for their instruction. What do they want? If you're a potential buyer, always look out for, if you want to buy a property in a gated community, always read their instruction. What type of structure, infrastructure do they want inside this gated community? Is it a bungalow or is it a duplex? Always look out for that, because there are some gated community, they only allow bungalows. And there are some community, they both bungalows and duplexes, they are matched together. So always look out for the instruction and how the structure, whether the structure fits into your taste or not. So number 6 advantage of gated communities in Nigeria is better property values. What do you mean by better property value? It means that you can't compare the price of houses in gated communities with the houses in a street or not gated communities. So gated communities, the property values there is more expensive, is on a high side. Because of why? Because of it enhances securities, it has control access, and then the infrastructure and everything. So that's why the property value of gated community is on the high side. So it depends on the taste and how your budget is. If you are someone that are looking for to buy a property, you check your budget. Is it worth of gated communities or not gated communities? So that's what they mean by property values. Like I said, that when we are talking in the beginning, that we are exploring the advantages and disadvantages of gated communities in Nigeria. Everything that have disadvantages always have disadvantages. So now let's look into disadvantages of gated communities in Nigeria. So we are looking at disadvantages of gated communities in Nigeria. Number 1, gated houses are expensive compared to a stand-alone building. What do I mean by that? If you are a person, you can't compare the price of a stand-alone building, not just outside the gated community, to the one inside an estate. Imagine you want to buy a 4-bedroom duplex in a gated community. They can tell you it's 120 M. While you go outside, they can tell you it's 90 M. You know the reason why? Because of its enhanced securities. So that's the only disadvantages of gated community in Nigeria, because gated houses are more expensive compared to stand-alone. So that's what it means. So that's number 1. Number 2, maintenance charges are also high. If you are a person that rented a house in a gated community, you can't compare the services charge that you are going to be paying inside non-gated community. It's always high. So imagine you are paying security, maybe you are paying 2,500 per month in a non-gated community. Imagine you'll be paying more than that, maybe times 3 of that in a gated community. And then because of the social amenity they are offering you, because of water, 24 hours lights, if you've been to Omole Phase 2 or Omole Phase 1, you know they have constant lights. So you can't compare the service charge they are paying to the person not living inside a gated communities. It's always high. Always high. So that's what they mean. That's the only disadvantages of gated communities in Nigeria. So number 3, visitors have to seek permission before you can enter a gated community. It's very, very, very important. If you want to go and visit someone in a gated community, and when you know that the security there is tight and there's a place they use code to enter, you have to call the person. Oh, If you want to go and visit maybe your auntie or your friend, oh, I'm coming, please inform your security people that you are expecting this social person by this time, to avoid embarrassment. There are some security who are like, nobody called us and you are coming. That kind of embarrassment and everything like that. So that's the only disadvantage. You can't just wake up in the morning and say that I want to go to this person's place just like that without informing the person. So if you are looking for someone that you like private life, I would suggest you go for a gated community. You don't like visitors. You don't want anybody to start coming to your house anyhow. Just rent a house or buy a house in a gated community, because even if they want to come, they have to take permission from you. So that's another advantage of gated communities in Nigeria. So the last disadvantages of gated communities is gated communities are difficult to find in a prime area as they require a lot of space for construction. What do I mean by prime areas? Prime areas are boom areas that a lot of activities is happening, a lot of business are. Of prime areas in Nigeria, we have Lekki, we have Oniru, we have VI, we have Ikoyi. Those places are prime area. A lot of activities is going in there. So that's what I mean by a prime area. And then why we don't have a gated community in those areas is because it will require a lot of space for construction. So why a gated community cannot be found in a prime area is because they will require a lot of space for construction. Like I said before, a prime area is a boom where a lot of business is being done. So they will require a lot of construction space for a gated area. So now, as it is going now, we have a gated communities in Periwinkle Estate. Before the Periwinkle Estate came into existence, it was a waterlogged area before, because like we said, according to prime area is where a lot of business is being taking place. But if you look at Periwinkle Estate now, it's a private gated community in Lekki. Thank you for watching. In today's video, we talk about what we mean by gated communities and disadvantages of gated communities, and what is different between gated communities and an estate, and disadvantage of gated communities we have in Nigeria. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to our channel. If you are watching us for the first time, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our platforms such as Instagram, Facebook. Thank you for watching. Bye.